Well, hello everybody. It's Topher from the Dapper Boys, and I'm doing an update on the recovery after surgery that I had on Thursday. So, as you know, I had necrosis of the jaw after treatments of chemo and radiation for squamous cell carcinoma, and I had to have 11 teeth taken out, plus my bottom jawbone ground down. Well, the top healed, but then I started having a bone spur that was coming out. So I showed in the previous video, which thank you very much to University of Virginia for allowing me to video the procedure, just because I'm trying to be as open and honest with you in every aspect and every way during life after cancer, and it's things that we have to deal with. So the spur ended up with a sharp point of a bone that was getting ready to rupture and come through my gum. They decided that they wanted to get that gone before it broke the skin, because then I would have a higher risk of infection. And as you know, after radiation, we have an issue of healing, especially in the areas where the radiation was concentrated, which all mine was right here. And I went to the appointment. My first appointment of the day was with my surgeon, Dr. Shanka from UVA, and he checked me out, did a scope down through my nose into my throat. I have a video of that. They let me video it as well. Well, I didn't. The nurse practitioner videoed while we were playing around. It's not bad at all. If you've not had one of those done, it's very simple and not bad at all. They'll come into the room and they'll take like spray mist and spray up both nostrils, and they'll ask you to kind of sniff in. And we may do it a second time maybe, and then they'll leave you for about 5 minutes or so. By that time when they come back, your passage sinuses are then numbed to where when they go to put the tube down, there's no pressure or distress of any sort or anything like that. So I'll also post the video of it. When you see the video, you'll see that everything's nice and pink and the way it should be. If you do see the white spot underneath my bottom of my palate in the back, that little white spot is nothing to worry about. It's just something that has been there for a while. It's normal and natural. It freaked me out the first time I saw it because I thought it was a tumor. It is definitely not, and it's nothing to be concerned about, which, they check and watch me very closely, especially with me because of my weight and my metabolism. So I'm always having blood work done and that sort of thing. So what's funny is, so I go to this appointment at Dr. Shanka's, and I get into the room, and there's a lady that comes in, and I think I recognized her, but it just didn't seem like the right place or whatever. Well, she came in, she started asking me a couple of questions and everything. Come to find out, she was from the dentistry department, and she made a special trip over to his office to be able to see me, because I was going to be seeing them at 2:30 p.m. So here it is, 11:45. I'm in Dr. Shanka's office. This lady that I've been working with there for a while, actually since I was first diagnosed, I was asked to participate in a study. And so I've now been in this study now for almost 3.5 years. And she had a questionnaire, and she said, could you finish filling this out? This will be your last one. Well, me having chemo brain, I just said, do you mind refreshing my memory as to what this survey's for? And it was actually a survey regarding the difference between patients that had traditional surgery versus patients that had the robotic surgery. which I know many of you now know a lot about. And I asked her, I filled it out, and it was funny that the questions were good. However, it did not address my metabolism, which we know I'm a world anomaly, and I have accepted that, and I do what I have to do to keep weight on. But there were questions that would say, you know, are you maintaining weight? Well, technically, yes, but it doesn't allow me to give insight as to how many calories I consume in a 24-hour period, and that I have to consume 35 to 4,500 calories every 2 hours just to keep me mobile. So I told her, I said, well, I get to see the results, and she said, well, this will go into the national study and we'll get results, and then I would be able to have that information. Well, at that time I went ahead and volunteered and told her that I love the idea of the study to see the contrast between standard surgery procedures versus using the robotic surgery. But has anyone ever looked at metabolism for squamous cell carcinoma, HPV, throat cancer? And she goes, I don't know. And I said, well, please take that information back to your group, and I think that that would be something that would be important that maybe people would need to know. And as I've been doing these videos, first of all, thanks everybody for the likes and subscribes and following and the sharing. I'm getting messages from all over the world of people talking to me that say things like they had gotten to the point of giving up hope, and somehow, some way, they got linked to my videos, and they truly say that I am helping them and inspire them to keep going. I've been through a whole lot more than most people have had to go through for this, which, you know, it's the cards that we are dealt. So I must do what I do, that I keep going and find the good in everything. That's just the way I have to look at this in order to keep going, or I wouldn't be here. If I just gave up, or if I went a day without eating, I would lose 5 pounds in one day. Probably more than that, as much as my body burns. So that happened. So the doctor from dentistry was in there, and then Dr. Shanka sent him one of his interns to take my basic information and everything, and, you know, get the blah blah. And when she came in, I'm like, isn't Doogie Howser coming in with you? And she said, what? And I've referred to Dr. Shanka as Doogie Howser since the day we met him. He looked like he was 16 years old, and he's a miracle worker, and I love his bedside manner. He knows that when I'm nervous, my humor kicks in. It's never dirty humor, it's just weird, off the wall, funny. So I said, he let you come in here without him? I said, that's surprising. And she was like, oh no, he has faith in me, and I can take care of this. This is no problem. I'm like, okay. So I let her do her thing. And as she was doing it, I said, so this is your first residency? And she's like, well, yes, it is. I went, oh, okay. So she did everything she needed to do. She asked me questions about, well, are you maintaining your weight? And the dentist doctor was standing over in the corner, which we had already had our full conversation, and she knew everything. And I looked over to her and just kind of chuckled, and I said, well, if you ask it that way, yes. I said, would you like to maybe rephrase the question? And she kind of looked at me, and I think she realized then that there was more to the story. So she goes, well, let me ask you this. What are you doing to maintain your weight? Well, that's when I looked to the dentist doctor and I said, would you like to tell her or should I? And actually, she said, let me enlighten her. Yes, I'm the guy that is consuming about 20,000 calories per day. I burn that much. I weigh 138 pounds, and drinking or shakes and for 20,000 calories a day, I should be huge. I should be overweight, and I can barely keep enough weight on me to keep my muscles toned. I don't exercise, I don't work out. I do yoga my way, and that's stretches and things like that. I go through all my neck stretches, and I highly recommend, if you have anything of this type of neck surgery for the rest of your life, practice swallowing deep swallows, full complete swallows. Practice stretching your neck. Lateral. Press down on your shoulder, grab your head, and give it a tug. Alright? And I'll do that actually both ways, even though all my surgery was on this side. But my muscle right here it's as hard as a rock. This side I can't even feel it. And it stays this way. So keep that in mind, keep the stretches going. I can only imagine if I didn't stretch how much this would freeze and lock up. So everything checked out well. She got a good laugh out of me. I think I taught her a life lesson. So as a future doctor, she'll be more conscientious about the way she asks questions to get the true answers. Because just looking on paper, oh, it looks like he's maintaining some weight and has been. They just don't realize what you're doing to have to keep that up. So we leave there, and I get told that to be there at 2:30 at the dentistry clinic. So Melissa took me. Jared couldn't go with me to this appointment because he had meetings that day and couldn't get out of those. So I had a friend of mine, so she was my co-pilot, moral support, and seeing eye dog, and chauffeur as the day went on. So we get to dentistry. I walk in and have to check in on the bottom floor, and oh, really funny story. Okay, so went to two different buildings. Went straight from Lynchburg, Virginia to Charlottesville, Virginia to UVA. Went straight to the hospital. I bet you we had, all in all on the day, 20 to 30 people that spoke to me just out of the blue, no pun intended, that commented on my hair. Not one person mentioned my weight. And as you know in my previous videos, I dyed my hair blue and did a mohawk. It makes people look here, and that's what they talk about rather than seeing how skinny and little I am everywhere else. So just thought I'd share that. It was quite empowering to know that subliminally I controlled strangers' thoughts just by what I did by fixing my hair the way I am. It takes the look away from them staring at my scar on my neck or my size of, due to weight loss. So we go into surgery, I get called back, and they're like, oh yeah, we need to take care of this. So they had to lacerate my gum on the top, which is actually my skull. They had to lacerate in front of it and behind it and peel it all away. And they took 1/4 of an inch of bone that they literally, it was like clippers, like needle nose pliers, but the kind that has the sharp point to like cut wire. I was so numbed up, I didn't feel a thing. So they cut that off, and I was like, I want to see it, I want to see it. So I held up my hand. They literally put it in my hand, and it was the size of a kernel of corn or a pea. So it was quite large. Well, then I said I want it, and as I actually was holding it, it actually crumbled and fell apart again. So we know that it was dead bone from necrosis, and it was where two teeth originally were, and the space in between the two teeth, my skull, as ages went on, had grown around into the point to cause that spur to be there. So then they ground it all down, nice and smooth. We had a bet going with Dr. Wong. I asked her, I said, how many stitches do you think I'll need? I said, let's guess. And she was like, I don't know. And I'm like, we have to guess before we do this. So she said, well, I think we'll only probably need one stitch. And I said, I think we'll have to have 3. And she's like, well, let's see. Well, then they ground everything down and went to sew me up. And she goes, well, she said, neither of us won, but technically I won because I ended up getting 3 stitches, or 4 stitches rather. I said 3, I ended up getting 4. And it's nice and smooth. I was very numbed up. I'd been without calories for a while. Melissa drove me home. By the time we got to the house and she got me inside, she asked what I was going to do, and I said, I'm going to bed. So they put me on antibiotics for the next 10 days, or for 10 days. I'm on day 3 now. And I'll keep that up. I do feel like I have been sucker punched in the face. Wham, like right there. So this is really sore and tender, but no, it's not inflammation, I don't think, of infection of any sort. It's just the trauma of it all. But I'm still doing shakes, no solid food or anything. I'm not going to be able to do that for, they said, 4 to 5 days until the stitches will go and start dissolving and they'll fall out on their own. And another 2 days, if I want to attempt start eating some food, I can try, but she wants me to chew. Well, it's kind of hard to chew when you don't have teeth on either side and the back. So I have these 2 teeth right here that connect, and I use that to chew on. So I'll start there, back with the human foods that I can eat. So all in all, it went well. I don't like being in pain. It does hurt. But it's just another step that we have to go through to be better. And isn't that what we all do every day? Is try to be better. So I'm better today than I was yesterday. Yesterday I couldn't make a video because I pretty well slept for 2 hours, got up and did a shake, took medicine, went back to bed 2 hours. I did that the entire cycle. I had no time to even want to look at a phone or a camera or Facebook or anything like that. I want to thank everybody for the support that you're giving me and helping inspire me to keep going. I hope that you like the videos that I'm doing because I'm doing them for you and for us. We are a family and we need to stick together to help each other. We all have different side effects and how things affected us physically and emotionally. And I want us to be able to have a space and a place to talk about those things. So don't hesitate to make a comment or find us on Facebook at the Dapper Boys. We're here on YouTube at the Dapper Boys. And please like and share. My goal is to get the word out to as many people as possible. It isn't the end of the world. It's a challenge. It's an obstacle. But we have those our entire life. And we have to try to rise above those and overcome them. And that's what I'm trying to do. So I hope you enjoy what I'm doing. I hope you understand why I'm doing this. It's not only for your benefit, but for mine, because I need help to continue being inspired. It's rough. This is how every day goes. And I do what I can to keep going, but when we're sick, sad, alone, our minds have a tendency to wander to bad things, and I don't want that to happen. So I use YouTube when I'm feeling down, or if it's bothering me, like I'm hurting right now, but I'm making a video. So that way I'm not thinking about this. I'm thinking about you and wanting to help you and your caregivers. It's not an easy road, but at the end of that tunnel, there is a light. And that light is not the end. That light is starting over. So I have a whole new life. So since I was diagnosed, I guess I'm technically 3.5 years old. I don't look too bad for 3.5. I'll take that. Next week, I'll be turning 52 years old. There's been times that I never thought I would see 50, let alone 52. So I'm very humbled and blessed, and I know why I'm still in this world, and I think I found my purpose, and that's to reach out and help others, and talk, tell my story, share my story, hear your stories. We're going through this together, and we need to inspire one another. So, as I'm signing off, I would like to say, as usual, find the good in everything, no matter how small. But always be dapper strong. Much love, everybody.